Hi, hello everyone. It's Elaine here, the petite plump pensioner. Um, Thank you for all who watched my last video about our downsizing decisions. I've been absolutely blown away with the response, and I will follow it with some more. Um, but today I'm just going to do something a bit frivolous, really. Um, you may not know, or you may have mentioned it in others, but one of my hobbies is entering competitions. It's a great hobby. I've been doing it for, well, this time around, coming up for 18, 19 years. I did have a spell of doing it before that, so I have done it for quite a while. Anyway, um, I've won some fantastic things over the time. People say, "Oh, you're very lucky." It does take a lot of work, I have to say, but some of the prizes you get can be absolutely, you can't put a price on them. They are money can't buy experiences. So I once entered a competition with Virgin Media. It was I saw it on their one of their Facebook pages. It was a Saturday night. I'd had a couple of glasses of wine. I could take on the world. And to go in it, they wanted people who would be happy to be backstage at Britain's Got Talent semi-finals, and go and interview people. And do you feel you could chat? What would make you good? A couple of glasses of wine. I wrote about what I thought I could do. I'm pretty outgoing. Like I say, nearly 40 years as a nurse, you do get to chat to lots of different people in lots of different settings. So I applied a couple of selection procedures and I got through. So as part of it, I got to interview different people. They were unscripted. They gave you a cameraman and a mic, and they went, off you go. And they would tell you who you're going to see. Like today, we got a semi-final. Two of us got. There was, I think there was 5 semi-finals, so there was 10 people who went through. So there was 2 of us a day. Sorry, I must sort of clarify that. 2 of us a day. So we were both given different things to do, sent off, different cameramans. But in the meanwhile, we sat in the green room. So I got to interview people who worked in the canteen. How did they find it? Ask them about the day. I got to interview a couple of contestants. I mean, it's only recent that I realised that Molly, who was on Strictly Come Dancing and who's in EastEnders, she was actually one of the girls I got to interview. But of course, she was only a very young girl in those days. And it's only recently that I thought, oh, she was one of the people she was a contestant I got to interview. Anyway, so my main ones were on the semi-final is I got to interview David Williams, the judge. They brought him into the green room and I asked him some questions. Again, I wasn't prompted. I don't know where some of these questions. Sorry about that. My camera cut out for a minute. This thing flashed up. Schedule install. I'm using an old phone camera. Right. So I got to interview David Williams. He came through. I asked him a few questions. And it's interesting. It is very interesting. And then I was invited back for the final myself and the guy I was with on the day. I think we were deemed to be, I don't know, quite good, or, we were enabled to be let loose. So on the final day, I actually was asked, would I go and interview Ant and Dec? Would I go and interview Ant and Dec? So, of course. In that case, I did have to put the questions through first, and they did have to go, and their business managers had to look at them. And I had to be outside their dressing room at a certain time. This was the only one that was a bit formal. And I was nervous. I thought, oh, are they going to be difficult? Is it, but they were not difficult. They were as lovely as they were. And I also got to interview Ashley and Pudsey, who were the winners. I don't know if you remember, she was the girl that had the beautiful, cute dog that she danced with and they were the eventual winners. And I thought they were adorable. And I actually got to interview them as well on the day of the final. And I've still got the videos of them. I think they've been taken down for Virgin Media, but I have my own copies. So I thought for the next 2 videos, I would show you, share what I did, and just shows you what entering competitions and what prizes they can give you. So thank you for watching. As I always say, go and get a cup of tea or whatever your poison is, glass of wine if you're watching in the evening, and just have a look at my efforts of being a roving reporter backstage at Britain's Got Talent. Okay, now, thank you.
Okay, and we're backstage here at Britain's Got Talent, and look, I'm actually privileged to be in the dressing room of the wonderful Ant and Dec. Hello, guys.
You come again tomorrow, you know, with you're going to start off interviews like that.
Flattery gets me everywhere.
Exactly, everywhere. Into my dressing room and everything.
Can I ask you, what's been your favourite act so far?
Oh, well, you see,
really
I'm going to
tough.
dodge this question, Elaine, because...
You don't want to be seen to be favourite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because obviously we've got the final to come, and I do have a favourite, I'll be honest with you, but I'm not going to say because... Yeah, because I think it would be unfair to the other acts.
But I think we've had some fantastic performances, and you start to look at the final taking shape now, and you look at some of those performances like Only Boys Allowed.
Yes.
That was proper hairs on the back of your neck in the studio.
Yeah.
Jonathan
and Charlotte, of course, were brilliant. Lovable Rogues last night were brilliant. Little Molly Rainford. It's the
Standard's very high, isn't
We're
it?
forgetting the dog in all of this as well.
How can you forget the dog?
Yeah.
So to pick a favourite moment out of all those would be, actually, you're right, it would be wrong, but actually it would be too hard as well.
Aye.
Yeah, no, that was a reasonable answer.
Thank you.
Very good answer.
Phew.
Nothing expects anything better than that. You
We
don't
got
wanna
away
give
with
away, you don't want to give away trade
That's
secrets.
true, it's true.
What has been your best moment so far?
At the semi-finals,
The whole
the whole
thing.
thing.
Oh.
Yeah, the
God,
semi-finals.
that's a
Let's
tough
go for
one.
the semi-finals.
All right, my best moments this week, I think, were the moment that I noticed when Jonathan and Charlotte were just about to start singing, and she'd been given a load of grief from the judges that she should leave and all this kind of nonsense. And they were just about to start singing. The track started, and he just you didn't see it on camera, but he kind of leant and just winked at her as if to say, "You're going to be all right." Jonathan
some
did,
confidence.
and then I just thought, "Don't cry on live television," but I held it together. So lovely. That was a lovely moment.
That's a very touching story.
Yeah.
How many hours in a day do you spend together?
Too many hours a day. No,
Quite a few.
Quite a lot.
Quite a few. We get picked up about midday, don't we, to come in here, and then we've got dressing rooms next door to each other, so we keep popping through back.
So
back
you
and
ride
forwards.
together and leave together.
Yeah.
And we live in the same street. We live 2 doors away from each other, so yeah, we
No
spend.
bobbing round for a bag of sugar, a cup of sugar.
Oh, we do that all
We
the
do
time.
that all the time. Normally a bottle of wine. You got any wine?
What's the best thing for you about being Britain's Got Talent, the presenters? What's the best thing?
The best thing, I think it's got to be the acts. Just that's them lot out there. That's the British public. It constantly surprises us.
I
Sure.
love doing the auditions and going around the country and meeting the audiences, meeting the people who sit at home and watch the show when they come to the theatres. But also, every act that walks on the stage, we've got no idea whether they're going to be good, bad, funny, weird, wacky. So.
And I suppose you see all of it, good, bad, funny. I mean, you'll link up with them behind
Soon as you see all of that in one act.
Yeah,
Good, bad, funny.
David got up with the show bears. Have you ever been tempted to join an act on stage?
We have before, a couple of years ago, an act came on and they were dancing to an old song of ours. So we got on, we done a little rumble with them. But we pop on every now and again. But it's unfair, really, if we kept.
Yeah, we try not to do it too much. Because you can't get too much of a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
So try not to do it too much. But the odd time we will pop on and just help out if we feel we're needed.
Yeah, give a bit of support.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice to do.
Magicians often help you, ask you to help them.
Oh, they want an assistant,
We've
Yeah.
done that quite a few times.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Honestly, I can't thank you enough for giving us the
Thank
time
you.
to speak and allowing
pleasure.
me here.
Thank you
She's
for coming.
very good, isn't she?
She's great.
Tell you
That's
what,
great.
we'll watch ourselves at the NTAs next year.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so, but thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And here we are at Britain's Got Talent. Thank you very much indeed, Ant and Dec.
Thanks, Elaine.
Hi there again. I just thought I'd pop back on after you've watched my adventure with Ant and Dec. I just thought I'd add a little bit to it, really, about how really nice they were. Like I say, I had to wait outside the room and go in. And then at the end of it, when the camera stopped rolling, they were chatting a bit. And they sort of said to me, "You're very good, you. How did you were good at speaking, how did you do it? What do you do?" So I said to them that, well, I was a nurse. I was a nurse. I hadn't retired then. I said, well, I'm a nurse and I said, I'm a neonatal nurse, and I said, you know what, I deal with people who, with families who are in difficult times. They're either in a lot of pain, or, a baby. And I said, and sometimes, it isn't always good news. I said, sometimes, I have to go up to people who I don't know, and I have to tell them bad news that maybe their baby sadly has passed away, or isn't going to make it, is very, very sick. So I said to them, so I have to do that with strangers. I said, talking to you two was an absolute doddle. There was nothing to it. Anyway, they sort of looked at me for a minute, and Ant, who had been the quieter of the two, suddenly went, come here, love. And he gave me a great big hug and a kiss. I think he got makeup on his shirt collar. And they were just so, they were like, wow. And I think they were quite sort of impressed by that. And then coincidence was, I think later on in the year, I don't think it was the year after, I think it was later on that year, I'd actually won another competition to go to Wimbledon. And we got quite good seats at centre court. And I was sat there with one of my friends who isn't a comper. I must say, that's the word we use for people who went to competitions, a comper. So I was sat with my friend, anyway, who came in and sat on the row but one in front of us, next but row in front, were Ant and Dec and Jonathan Ross sat together, having a beer and chatting. And I said to her, so look at that. Well, of course, Wimbledon's very good, but when the tennis is on, the games are on, you obviously, you're quiet. You can get up and out and go to the bar, you can bring your drinks in and that, but it has to be when there's no active play on, and the stewards and that will tell you to go. But my friend, her phone suddenly started playing music, loud music, and she didn't know what it was, and I was like a bit embarrassed and panicking, and she couldn't stop it, but she sort of passed it along, and somebody managed to stop it for her, and they sort of turned around and looked, and I was like, oh my God. Anyway, so I'm rambling a bit, but Jonathan Ross and Ant went to go and get some beers, I assume. So I said to my friend, right, I'm going. There was a little bit of an sort of interval. So I said, I'm going for it. Like, everybody was looking at him and nobody would speak to him. So I went down and I showed them the photograph, the still shot of me interviewing them. And I said to her, you don't mind me bothering you, but do you remember this? And he looked at it. He said, where's that? I said, it was Britain's Got Talent. And he went, you're the nurse? He remembered that I was a nurse. I was very impressed. She just had a couple of words. And then I went back down to me. And he laughed. I said, I'm just sat there. And he said, was it your phone? I went, no, it was my friend's. I said, it's mortifying. And he just laughed. Anyway, when I went back up, I then said to my friend, I said, did you get photographed? Did you photograph me talking to them? She went, no. I was like, no. She said, no, I didn't want to put my phone out again in case it started making noises. So that was a little anecdote following on from that. So, yeah, they were very nice. And again, it was great. So that's just wrapping that up then. Okay, then. Well, I did hope you enjoy it. And as I say, I will then follow it up. Might not be immediately. I might have another sort of video in between. But then I will share the one where I interviewed David Williams and Ashley and Pudsey. Okay, so thank you again